What's up YouTube, how you doing? This is Mr. Tybox123 and in this video I'm going to be bringing you version 2 of my complete Gadget tour. So here we are guys, we're back for version 2 of this video. I did one of these about 8 or 9 months ago. I'll leave a link down in the description below if you guys want to check out the old version. But loads of you have been saying, can you please update the video? So here we are. Now, I've laid out a few things here on the table. It's not literally everything that I've got, but it's the vast majority of the stuff, and it's the stuff that I use kind of more often than not. So what we've got here is, we've got all my laptops here, got the tablets, got the phones, and then we've also got my DSLR here and a few lenses as well. So I'm just going to run through with you one by one and just take you through what they all are. So we'll start off here with the laptops. So first of all here we have got the 13-inch MacBook Air. This is the 2012 Ivy Bridge model. It's got 128 gig SSD, 4 gig of RAM, and I believe a Core i5 1.7 gigahertz or maybe 1.8 gigahertz processor. Now, I absolutely love this laptop. I've had a MacBook Air now for quite a while, and for traveling around when you're on kind of long journeys and you're maybe on the trains or on the aeroplanes, this is absolutely ideal. Now, I have actually got an 11-inch one of these as well, but someone's borrowing that at the moment. So definitely love the MacBook Air range of laptops. I think they're absolutely fantastic. As you guys have all seen before, ridiculously thin, ridiculously lightweight, and also with these kind of second, third generation processors, the Ivy Bridge and the Sandy Bridge processors, very, very usable as well, regardless of what it is you're trying to do. So next, my favourite portable device of all time that I've ever owned. I'm absolutely in love with the Retina MacBook Pro. Obviously this is the most recent edition of the MacBook Pro range of laptops, and I absolutely love it. It's got almost the mobility of a MacBook Air, but with a 15-inch form factor and a ridiculous amount of power as well, both in terms of graphics and processor. I think this has got a 2.3 gigahertz Ivy Bridge quad-core processor. I got the 16GB RAM upgrade, and it's also got that NVIDIA 650M graphics card, which is absolutely fantastic, along with a 256GB SSD, and obviously that absolutely stunning Retina screen. It really is one of those things you have to see in person to realise just how unbelievable the screen on this thing is. But that is the Retina MacBook Pro. Like I say, I think this is the best device that Apple have ever built. Absolutely in love with it. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I hope they continue to update all of the models with that Retina display as well. The only real downside to this is that there is no upgradability on it, so you can't at a later stage upgrade the RAM or the video card or anything like that in any way whatsoever. So here we go, the 2011 MacBook Pro. I believe this is a 2.3 gigahertz quad-core Sandy Bridge processor. Again, this has got 16 gigabytes of RAM, and also I've upgraded this with a 256GB Crucial SSD, so you can check that out. Now, I'm probably going to get rid of this one, being that it's been upgraded to the Retina MacBook Pro, but as yet can't quite let go of it, just because I kind of have used this for such a long time now, and I really do love this particular MacBook Pro. It's also got the high res screen option as well, so it's got a 1680 by 1050 resolution screen, and it really has done me fantastically over the last year or so. So that's the 2011 MacBook Pro. So next off, we are on to the tablets. Now, first of all, and the device that I'm probably most in love with at the moment, but I can't believe how fantastic this device has turned out. Even though I did have some teething issues with broken ones, I've now got a fully working one, and I'm absolutely loving the Google Nexus 7. It really is fantastic. Beautiful screen, beautiful form factor, extremely light. It really is so much lighter than the iPad 3. It's ridiculous. You can kind of chuck it around. It's very much a a device that you use all the time, because it's just so portable and so light, and I'm really enjoying the form factor. So great job there from Google. If only they would have brought out a 3 or 4G version, that really would have kind of topped it off as being a kind of real A-grade device. But highly recommend the Nexus 7. I know I've had loads of problems getting one that worked, but even so, I would still not be put off by that. I'd still say to everyone, go out, spend that £160, because it's probably the biggest bang for your buck that you're going to get in terms of an electronic device. That amount of money for all of this is just unbelievable. Now, leading on to something that was probably intended to be what the Nexus 7 was, and that is the BlackBerry Playbook. Now, I used to use this a fair amount actually before the Nexus, again just because of that form factor. Fits nicely inside the suit jacket pocket, but I've got to say, having now got the Nexus 7, which is so much lighter than the BlackBerry Playbook, and also thinner, and just seems nicer overall. It's got a better screen, a better operating system. Not quite sure how often I'm ever going to use this BlackBerry Playbook again, but anyway, still, I really did like the hardware on this, and I think the cameras on the BlackBerry Playbook really did do it justice. It was a fantastic set of cameras that they put into the BlackBerry Playbook. Now, next up, again, I was hoping for great things from this tablet. This is the HP touchpad. I rushed out to buy this from an importer as soon as it was released in America, and I really did think that this was going to take off and be something worth having in the future with that WebOS operating system. However, that's gone completely downhill, completely useless. Basically can't use the WebOS operating system anymore. It really is beyond saving. So what I did to this one was I actually put ice cream sandwich on it, loads and loads of information about how to do that, and then you've got a fairly decent ice cream sandwich Android version 4 tablet. It's a decent bit of hardware, and now they've updated it to get the camera working and all the Wi-Fi stuff. It's actually a decent bit of kit, and you can go out and you can buy one of these fairly cheap now off of eBay and end up with a really nice Android 4 tablet. So still going to keep the HP touchpad. And then we have got my iPad 3. Now, since the Nexus, I've probably been using this less and less and less. The main thing I really used to use this for was a little bit of mobile remote access, along with kind of reading magazines and content consumption. But now that I've got the Nexus, I'm not using it quite so much. Now we're on to the mobile phones. Now, I don't use all of these phones day by day, obviously, because there's just too many of them, but I'll tell you exactly what ones I've got, and we'll just go through them. So, starting off, we have got the BlackBerry Bold 9900, and I absolutely love the Bold 9900. As you guys know, I do have a business called Honey Management, which you can check out at honey-management.com, and all of the dealings that I do in terms of promotion are all done on the Bold 9900, and it's the only way that I can actually run that business. So couldn't do without the Bold 9900, and I really do love the hardware. Specifically, I just love that carbon fiber back there on the Bold 9900. Great build quality. Not the best operating system in the world, but in terms of what I need it for, there isn't a phone that could do a better job. Now on to the next one. Here we go. We have got my iPhone 4S. This is the 64 gig version, and I couldn't do without it. This is my main phone. It's the one I use all the time. There's a whole bunch of reasons why I couldn't replace this with maybe an Android phone, but I absolutely love the iPhone 4S. I definitely could not do without it in any way whatsoever. Can't wait for the new iPhone 5, but that's a whole another story. Now next, a phone that I got in for review that I just can't let go of, the Sony Xperia S. I just think this is a fantastic phone. Great build quality, absolutely love the screen on this, love the form factor as well. It's ever so slightly smaller than the next phones we're going to see, and I just really like it since it's got the ice cream sandwich upgrade. It's got a great camera, that 12 megapixel camera on the back of it, and I just can't let go of it. I just find myself using it quite regularly, switching over different phones, and I quite often pick up the Xperia S and just use that one. Not quite sure why, but anyway, that's the Xperia S. Now next, we have got one of the kings of the smartphones, the HTC One X. When I first got this, this really did push me towards Android more than any other phone has done before. and I really did fall in love with the HTC One X. I love the camera, I love the skin on the operating system, HTC Sense. I like most things about this particular phone. It is a little bit laggy when you use it quite intensely, but still an absolutely fantastic phone, beautifully made, and just an all-round quality device. Couldn't recommend a phone more than the HTC One X. But then shortly after the HTC One X came the new king of the smartphones, and this is the Galaxy S3. In pretty much most ways, it is just slightly better than the HTC One X. Personally, I quite often find myself using the HTC One X over and above the S3, but I think that's just because I really do not like this hard home button that they've got here. I don't like the shape of it, I don't like the way it feels, but other than that, an absolutely fantastic phone. I wish they'd have just gone with the 3 kind of soft buttons or capacitive buttons at the bottom of the screen like the HTC did, instead of having that physical home button. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that, but that's the way it's worked out for me. And you've got to say, the Samsung Galaxy S3, I mean, they've just thrown everything into this. It's got fantastic hardware, fantastic screen. They did a reasonable job as well with TouchWiz. I still prefer HTC Sense, but they've done a lot better job with TouchWiz this time round. The smoothness of the operating system really is a jump above anything else that's on Android version 4, and overall, I mean, Samsung really did pull it out of the bag with the S3. All in all, I don't think you could ask for much more from a device. Now, last but not least, and I'm actually going to be upgrading this fairly soon, this is my Nikon D7000, which I do a whole bunch of videos and also a whole bunch of photography with. Maybe a lot of you guys don't know, but I'm heavily into my photography. And on here as well, we've also got the D-Focus follow focus rig for doing manual focus and making it a lot better and easier to use. At the moment, I've got on there the Sigma 1770 f2.8, but I've also got a few more lenses. I haven't got them all here now, but these are a couple. This is the 40mm 2.8 macro or micro lens, and I've also got the 50mm 1.8, which everyone's got to have if they've got a crop sensor DSLR. But anyway guys, that's a little bit of a tour for you around most of my gadgets. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya. Full room tour up on the channel that most of you guys have seen, so if you want to see a full tour of my room, then go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description. There is my young Brooklyn slothing